Congratulations, class of 2019. Best wishes from HR.
Congratulations, class of 2019.
Congratulations, class of 2019. Woohoo!
Congratulations from IT. Woo!
Congratulations from the library. Woo! Congratulations, class of 2019. Woo! Congratulations from marketing. Do what you love.
Congratulations from performance and programming.
Class of 2019, congratulations and wishing you all the very best for the future. I hope we'll stay in touch.
Congratulations from the cafe.
Congratulations from the box office.
Congratulations from development.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the RNCM Congregation Awards Ceremony of 2019. A few years ago, at the Oscars, someone took a really massive selfie. My colleagues in marketing have volunteered me to do the same thing today. I borrowed a selfie stick from a 14-year-old daughter. I've had 2 lessons on how to use it, so hopefully this should go well. If you don't want your photograph taken, hide, or cover your face with your programme, or email marketing@rncm.ac.uk and let us know your seat number. I'll count to 3 and then please shout, cheer, wave your arms in the air, and we'll have a couple of goes. Okay? No expense spared. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Royal Northern College of Music Congregation for 2019. Guests should remain within the concert hall at the end of the ceremony until all graduates have left. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the President's procession.
I declare this congregation open, and please do be seated. And I think I ought to begin with a round of applause for our fantastic brass band. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this congregation. I always think this is the happiest day in the college calendar. It's when we all gather together to celebrate. We honour people who have been significant in the life of the college, who've made a contribution to our community and to the music profession. And most of all, we're here to celebrate your success and welcome to you. I hope you have a lovely afternoon, and welcome to all your friends, family and supporters. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's Congregation of Awards. Our annual congregation is where we celebrate the achievement of our students and thank them for the contribution they have made to the college. It is our opportunity to thank you, their parents, families and friends, for the support you have given over so many years. And also an opportunity for me to pay tribute to my colleagues here at the RNCM who work so tirelessly on behalf of our students. Each year, we're delighted to be able to confer fellowship and honorary membership of the RNCM on people who have made an invaluable contribution to the professional world of music and to the work of the college. It is a pleasure to recognise the work of 6 such individuals today, and we look forward to hearing more about their achievements in due course. Much more rarely, we have the honour of conferring companionship of the college on someone who has made an outstanding and enduring contribution to their profession. It is a huge privilege today to be able to confer companionship of the college on one of our most eminent alumni, the world-renowned pianist, artist and writer Stephen Hough. It would be remiss of me on this occasion not to pay tribute to Michael Oglesby, former chairman of the Board of Governors here at the RNCM, who sadly passed away in November. Michael and his wife Jean have been major supporters of the college and our students over so many years. He will be much missed. Today, however, is first and foremost about our graduates. For those of you receiving your awards, it marks the end of a chapter in your lives, but also the beginning of the next stage of your musical journeys. Whether you are continuing your studies here at postgraduate level or have already embarked upon your careers, I'm confident that your commitment and hard work will stand you in good stead. I'm very proud indeed that the RNCM is recognised as one of the world's leading and most progressive conservatoires. We are regularly at the top of the league tables for teaching, research and graduate employment, and are the recipient of many awards, including a prestigious Global Teaching Excellence Award, 2 Times Higher Education Awards, and successive Manchester Theatre Awards for our opera productions. We receive frequent approaches from leading professional ensembles and international conservatoires wishing to partner and collaborate with us, which is testament to the profile and reputation of the RNCM today. This really matters to you, our graduates, as where you studied remains on your CV for life. Rightly or wrongly, it can influence how others perceive you as you take your first steps into the profession. I'm confident that all of you graduating today will benefit from the esteem within which the RNCM is now held in the UK and overseas, and that this will put you in the strongest possible position for your future careers. In an increasingly challenging and diverse profession, one of the strongest indicators of our success is that graduates from the RNCM go on to establish and sustain fulfilling careers across the music profession nationally and internationally. Last year, 98% of our graduates were in employment or further study within 6 months of leaving the college, which is testament to our ability to prepare our students effectively for the challenges that lie ahead. I'm confident that those of you graduating today will follow in their footsteps. You are about to join our global network of alumni, and wherever your careers may take you, you will find friends and allies who studied here. When I speak to former students, it's obvious that the college occupies a very special place in their hearts. I hope it will in yours too. You leave the RNCM with the power not only to realise your ambitions, but also to ensure that music remains relevant for future generations. I know you will use this power wisely, supporting and inspiring young musicians who are no longer able to access high-quality music tuition through their schools, drawing on your creativity and imagination to engage with new audiences, and reaching out through music to transform the lives of those in society less fortunate than yourselves. The RNCM is at the forefront of the conservatoire sector globally, setting out an ambitious agenda to redefine excellence in music education and shape the future music industry. I have every confidence that with our highly talented students, staff, alumni and partners, we will achieve these goals. Integral to our strategic ambitions is the commitment to widen access to music for those in our society who are unable to benefit due to their personal circumstances. We are determined to remove the barriers that prevent them from participating and to grow our scholarship and bursary provision so that every deserving young musician will be able to progress and fulfil their potential. With public funding diminishing and increasing financial constraints, we will be increasingly reliant on the help of private benefactors, trusts and foundations, and the generosity of our extended RNCM family to achieve our goals and to continue to offer the added value for our students that prepares them for their future success. I hope that some of you here today might consider helping us in the future, perhaps by making a donation to the college, joining the Principal's Circle, contributing to our Christmas appeal to increase our student hardship funds, attending events here, or simply spreading the word. If you feel able to support us in any way, we will be only too happy to hear from you. Rest assured your support, however big or small, will play a critical role in supporting future generations of young musicians and ensuring they have the opportunity to fulfil their dreams. To conclude, I would like to congratulate all of you receiving your awards today. To our new companion, fellows and honorary members, I welcome you warmly to the extended RNCM family. To our graduates, as alumni of the RNCM, you will always be very welcome here. Do please keep in touch and send us your news. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to work with you in your time at the RNCM. As you take your next steps into the music profession, wherever in the world this may be, we will be following your progress with much interest and wishing you every success and happiness into the future. Thank you. President, on behalf of the College, I now invite the presentation of a distinguished musician deemed to have made an exceptional and enduring contribution worthy to be admitted as a companion of this College.
President, I have the honour to present Stephen Huff for admission to the companionship of the Royal Northern College of Music. Stephen Huff's musical roots are to be found firmly in the northwest of England. He was born on the Wirral, and early on in his formative years, while studying at Cheetham School of Music, he won the piano section of the BBC Young Musician of the Year competition. He then went on to study at the RNCM and the Juilliard School in New York, winning the Naumburg competition in 1983. He is one of the most distinctive musicians of his generation, and as a recitalist has appeared on some of the most prestigious stages in the world, notably Carnegie Hall, Symphony Hall in Chicago, the Concertgebouw, and the Royal Festival Hall. As a soloist, he has performed with all the major orchestras of North America, Europe, the Far East, and Australia. Stephen Huff is a truly Renaissance man and has been named by The Economist magazine as one of 20 living polymaths, being equally at home concertizing, composing, painting, or writing. He was the first classical performer to be awarded a MacArthur Fellowship and was made a Commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 2014 New Year's Honours List. His recent book, Rough Ideas, has been chosen by the Financial Times as one of the best books of 2019. He now holds the title of International Chair in Piano Studies at the RNCM, where he holds his annual practical piano clinics, the format he prefers to the more traditional masterclass, showing pragmatism that has been the hallmark of much of his creative activity. As is the tradition at RNCM Congregation of Awards, it is nice to recount a story that shows great resourcefulness and ingenuity, or perhaps a career highlight. This story is particularly apt in the context of Stephen's residency this month and next at the Wigmore Hall playing Brahms' chamber music. In the summer of 1986, Stephen was engaged to play, amongst other works, the Brahms E-flat clarinet sonata with the king of swing, jazz clarinetist Benny Goodman. Sadly, Benny was terribly ill at the time, and the rehearsals had all gone extremely badly. The concert date soon arrived, and Stephen was anxiously waiting to play with Benny at the Century Club in New York. Unfortunately, Benny was not in the mood for counting rests that day and started skipping to the next entry in the score. Stephen, showing great resolve, started trying to catch him at various points in the piece. As a result of this, Stephen didn't get to play many of the tricky passages that he had practiced up. Most of them he simply got to leave out. To cap it all, at the end of the performance, Benny turned to the audience and said, "I should just like to thank my accompanist, Mr. Stanley Gruff." In the autumn following the performance, Stephen was going to record the Brahms with Benny, but sadly he died. It would have been a truly legendary recording. Let's hope for better luck at the Wigmore Hall with Michael Collins in January. President, I'm delighted to present Stephen Huff for admission to the companionship of the Royal Northern College of Music honoris causa.
President, on behalf of the College, I now invite presentations of musicians who have been found worthy to be admitted as Fellows of this College.
President, I have the honour to present Leon Bosch for Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music. He is one of the world's outstanding double bass virtuosi. His life story starts in a way one might not expect. Leon grew up in South Africa, the son of a school teacher. He shared his father's political views and he was active in the anti-apartheid movement. At the age of 15, he was put in prison for organising school protests against the regime. As a political prisoner, he spent a month in jail for his views and his activities. After this time, he decided to become a lawyer, and he applied to study law at Cape Town University. However, his application was turned down since he was deemed to be subversive. Leon then turned instead to music, thus beginning a remarkable journey to become one of the world's most respected instrumentalists. Hard work and single-mindedness eventually gained him a place to study here at the RNCM. And this was where I first heard Leon. I remember standing in the aisle behind row G, just up there, while Leon was playing here, as it happens, expressing the double bass in ways that I had not previously heard. I witnessed agility, ease, and clarity such as I had only seen in leading violinists. In his professional life, Leon has done much to transform the image of the bass. It's an instrument readily associated with certain types of writing at the bottom end of the register, but Leon blows away the stereotypes. He has helped to elevate its status to that of an important solo instrument with a powerful voice of its own. He has an impressive list of concerto and recital recordings representing well-known composers as well as championing lesser-known works. One music critic comments that his assured virtuosity makes light of extreme technical challenges. But it's the way in which he makes the instrument sing, which is so often praised. More than just his instrumental athleticism, it's his heartfelt lyrical playing which has caught the attention of the public and the critics. Here are a few words which a colleague here at the RNCM has written about him. I often had the pleasure of sharing the stage with Leon in his Manchester years. I relished his versatility as a chamber musician, as a principal orchestral player, and as a soloist. He brought boundless enthusiasm, energy, skill, and charisma to all these roles. His desire to play to the highest level was a constant inspiration. Over a drink, we would discuss such topics as who had made the fastest recording of the last page of the Saint-Saëns introduction and Rondo Capriccioso, and Leon knew all the timings down to the second, as well as discussing irregular goings-on in the world of politics. Leon, it's a pleasure to welcome you back to the RNCM today. You are many things in our music profession: an ambassador for the double bass, a prolific recording artist, a man of integrity, an entrepreneur, a conductor, a champion of new music, and a highly respected teacher. He also runs marathons. To conclude, I'd like to quote Leon himself. I have no doubt that the double bass and I were made for each other. We're completely inseparable, and the music we make together brings me unbridled joy. It has always been my mission in life to defend the cause of the underdog, and my passion for the double bass, the Cinderella of instruments, will never die. President, I am honoured to present Leon Bosch for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
President, I have the honour to present Elizabeth Llewellyn for admission to Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music. Elizabeth is firmly established internationally as a Puccini singer of note. This season she's sung Manon Lescaut for Opera Holland Park in London, her 7th Puccini role in 9 years. Since her operatic debut as Mimi at the English National Opera in 2010, when Elizabeth was named by the Telegraph Best Newcomer in Opera, she has distinguished herself as a lyric soprano on the international stage, having performed principal roles, amongst other places, at the Danish Royal Opera, Bergen National Opera, Glyndebourne Festival, Seattle Opera, the Theater Magdeburg, the Theater Bielefeld, where she is currently singing her first and highly critically acclaimed Aida, Not Many to the Pound, and at the Metropolitan Opera in New York, where she made her debut singing Bess in Bernstein's Porgy and Bess this October, making history as the first British singer to perform one of the title roles in the United States and at the Met. Elizabeth was born in London to Jamaican parents who came to live in the UK in the 1960s. Whilst they were not musicians, they loved music and encouraged their children in learning musical instruments. When Elizabeth's sister abandoned practice of the piano, which her parents had bought for her, Elizabeth pestered them for piano lessons, and these began when she was 10 after, I believe, 3 years of nagging. She sang in choirs, learned to play the violin, and it seemed a natural progression to come to the Royal Northern College of Music to study singing with Caroline Crawshaw, to whom Elizabeth still expresses grateful thanks. It has been very clear to me, speaking to Elizabeth, that she is enormously grateful for all those who have helped her along the way, and she is still in contact with many of her former teachers, a very generous tribute from any student. Whilst here, Elizabeth unfortunately became ill, and she was not able to continue singing immediately after college. She took 10 years away from studying, forging careers first in recruitment in the IT, telecoms industry, then as a manager in the travel and conferencing industry. But she could not escape her love for the music and decided to join amateur operatic groups, and it was this which led her back into thinking of singing professionally. It is not unusual for singers to take some time to develop their instrument, especially when this is a matter of the more dramatic voices. Elizabeth always remembered Caroline's words that there was a wonderful quality in her voice which would emerge later. She decided to take lessons again and found that her voice had matured and grown into the beginnings of the most exceptionally beautiful, resilient and lyric soprano she has today. She auditioned for and gained a place at the National Opera Studio in London, and then, as one might say, never looked back. Her voice continues to change and develop, and this part of her career is becoming, might one say, even more exciting, because she has the opportunity to consider repertoire which previously she might not have thought possible. Her repertoire already includes the giants of the lyric spinto, singing the leading lady roles in Simon Boccanegra, Tosca, Lohengrin, La Rondine, The Marriage of Figaro, Madame Butterfly, and Suor Angelica. What would she love to sing in the future? Strauss, Arabella, and the Marschallin. Agents and conductors, please take note. She has a glowing and growing discography, including Verdi's Macbeth, Elgar Caractacus, and Vaughan Williams' Sea Symphony, and next year will record her debut album of songs by the British composer Samuel Coleridge-Taylor with the pianist Simon Lepper. She loves living not in London, but in West Yorkshire. As she says, she's able to jump over the garden wall and go walking straight onto the moors. Her working life is spent in city centres, and she views the peacefulness and beauty of her surroundings at home as a great enhancement to her life. I think it must be rather unusual for the sheep to hear the leading lady singing her lines from Manon Lescaut, Aida and Louisa Miller from her music room in Yorkshire. They are indeed fortunate. President, I have the delightful honour to present Elizabeth Llewellyn for Fellowship of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with thesis title of The Women Musicians of South Place Ethical Society, 1887 to 1927, Jessica Beck. A critical study of the performance style, writing and directing of Lily Lehman, 1848 to 1929, Rosamund Cole. Dynamic rehearsal and Dalcroze eurythmics, a phenomenological investigation into participants' experiences and their implications for the practice, teaching, and learning of music and musical performance. Karin Greenhead. And are we really hearing in our heads what we think we're hearing? The role of auditory imagery in improvisation, Keith Phillips.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the degree of Master of Music in Composition, Stephen Bradshaw. Aaron Breeze. Sean Davis. Athanasia Kontu. Charlotte Marlowe. Robert Smith. And for the degree of Master of Music in Performance, Molly Barker. Tjeerd Barkmeyer. Yvonne Beardsworth. Adam Bowman. Kendall Bradshaw. Catherine Brooke. Peter Brooks. Owen Bunting. Matthew Burns. He Tian Chen. Harry Cunningham. Rhiannon Dugan. Amelia Dew. Wen Chun Fan. Darren Gallagher. Yuan Gu. Jessica Holmes. Man Chin Hui. John Jones. Lauren Kells. Maxim Kinasov. Apostolos Kitsos. Irini Lagovardou. Chuk Lam Lai. Lachlan Lawton. Yuan Ling Liu. Yingyi Liu. Layla Marshall. Leonie Maxwell. Peter McDonough. Gemma McNamee. Hélène Missieu. Kanako Mitsuno. Sophie Nash. Liam Orr. Ewan Owen. Michael Reddy. Patrick Relf. Katie Ritson. Edward Robinson. Emma Rushworth. Ingvild Schütze-Flori. Natalia Senior Brown. Eleanor Shute. Katrina Shushanite. Wei Peng Tseng. Lucy Vallis. James Vezer. Xu Yu Wang. Emma Wheeler. Anne Wilkes. Zijun Xu. Wang Qingzhu.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the degree of Master of Performance, Diao Chuai. Sophia Sui. Anna Denisova. Timothy Zida. Jean Lin. Irie Yamada. Oya Yu. Se Yi Huen. Chun Jun Chi Sung. Jinja Jo. And for the postgraduate diploma in advanced studies in musical performance, Alex Hughes. Eleanor Mills. Maria Sebdanska. Julia Schwarko. Julia Mariko Smith. Lei Lin Tai. And for the postgraduate diploma in solo performance, international artist, Iyad Al-Sugair.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the postgraduate diploma in string leadership, Daria Fussell. And Ruta Labutite. President, that concludes the presentation of postgraduate awards. The names of those graduating are in absentia are listed in the programme.
President, on behalf of the College, I now invite presentations of persons who have rendered distinguished service and who are deemed worthy to be admitted as honorary members of this College.
President, I have the honour to present Dame Colette Bow for admission to membership of the Royal Northern College of Music. Dame Colette has enjoyed a long and distinguished career as a businesswoman and civil servant, a career accompanied throughout by a love of music, being an enthusiastic and accomplished amateur cellist. Having obtained a PhD in economics from Queen Mary College, London, Colette spent over 3 decades working initially in the UK civil service and subsequently in the financial services industry, including over 3 years as chief executive of the newly formed Personal Investment Authority, and currently as an advisor to the Bank of England. In 2002, Colette became the founder chairman of the Telecoms Ombudsman Service, subsequently founding the Ofcom Consumer Panel the following year, and in 2009, becoming chairman of Ofcom, a post she held for 5 years. Given her success in these roles, I guess it was no surprise that in 2014, Colette was asked to chair the newly established Banking Standards Board, with the aim of raising the standards and behaviour and competence across the banking industry, no mean feat, by providing independent challenge and support to member banks and building societies. And Colette's skill at providing such challenge and support came to the fore when in 2012 she was appointed to chair the Associated Board of the Royal Schools of Music, a post which she held until last year. Colette arrived at the RNCM at a challenging time in its history. As part of its charitable objectives, ABRSM provides crucial financial support to 4 Royal Schools of Music, of which the RNCM is one, as well as scholarships to talented individual students who might not otherwise be able to study at a conservatoire. In fact, 6 of those graduating here today have been direct beneficiaries of an ABRSM scholarship. And since the scholarships were first set up, over 100 RNCM students have been able to study here thanks to ABRSM. But ABRSM's impact goes well beyond financial support, and in today's environment where government funding for music in state schools is at an all-time low, ABRSM provides an essential underpin to music education, effectively lobbying, making the case for music, as well as providing valuable resources and support to teachers and learners along their musical journey. Colette quickly understood the need for ABRSM to extend its activities well beyond the graded music exams that I'm sure most of us, I think, have enjoyed at one stage in our careers, and was a driving force behind many of the initiatives that ABRSM has implemented over the last few years to ensure it stays relevant in today's environment. However, Colette also understood that an effective partnership between the 4 Royal Schools and ABRSM was essential in enabling this to happen. And one of her first priorities was to experience firsthand what we do here, taking a keen interest in our activities and appreciating the outstanding talent and accomplishments of our students. But Colette is also firmly rooted in the Northwest. I remember her delight at meeting RNCM alumna Catherine Rudge, who had performed so wonderfully for us at a gala dinner, and finding out that not only was Catherine a fellow Liverpudlian, but she was also an avid fan of Liverpool Football Club. So clearly Colette's appreciation of excellence extends to football as well as music. From a personal perspective, I've learned an enormous amount from Colette from working alongside her over the last 5 years at ABRSM, since she asked me to become her deputy on the board there. But on behalf of the college, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Colette for the support she's given us, for continuing to be an enthusiastic advocate for music education, and for all we do here at the RNCM. President, I'm delighted to present Dame Colette Bow for admission to membership of the Royal Northern College of Music, honoris causa.
President, I have the honour to present Mike Emmerich for admission to membership of the Royal Northern College of Music. Mike's contribution to Manchester, the RNCM and the music scene in this area is considerable. Manchester born to an English mother and a German father who came to this country as a prisoner of war, Mike trained as an economist and had a long and successful career in a wide variety of public and private sector roles. Following university in Leeds, he spent time in working in management consultancy in a range of broadly local development settings, contrasted with work for the European Commission on a number of development programmes. He then became a civil servant, working at the high level as a policy advisor to the Treasury and then the Prime Minister's Policy Unit, before moving back to Manchester as the founder-director of the Institute for Political and Economic Governance, based at the university, pioneering research on the use of econometric techniques as evaluating policy. And I'm grateful for him for those words. From 2006, he moved to be the founder of CEO of the New Economy Manchester, working on behalf of the Greater Manchester Combined Authority as a think tank for the region and its development. The New Economy was at the heart of much of the astonishing change that this city has undergone in the past decade or so, which ultimately resulted in the development of the UK's devolution agenda and Manchester's own groundbreaking devolution deal in 2014. Moving on in 2015, Mike became founding director of Metro Dynamics, a consultancy which specialises in working with cities and those who invest in them. This has resulted in major projects in cities and regions as diverse as Venice, Turin, Stavanger, Aarhus, Cambridge, the West Midlands, London, the North East, and even Liverpool. Alongside this highly distinguished career, Mike has always retained a strong interest in the arts, particularly music, and it is this combination of interests that have made him such a valuable addition to the board of the RNCM. Organisations such as the RNCM can only thrive if they align themselves to the pulse of regional aspiration and development. Mike's understanding of these issues, plus his love of music, particularly focused on things pre-18th century, has been vital as the RNCM develops its own agenda for the coming decades. Mike has now also put his money where his mouth is, recently launching Manchester Baroque, a new musical group dedicated to performing the music of the 17th and 18th centuries on period instruments, thus combining his business skill, vitality, and imagination with his lifelong interest and passion, adding living relevance to the aphorism that if it's not Baroque, don't fix it. Mr. President, Mr. President, I'm delighted to present Mike Emmerich for admission to the membership of the Royal Northern College of Music honoris causa.
Mr. President, I have the honour to present Mrs. Alison Godley for admission to membership of the Royal Northern College of Music. Alison has lived a life surrounded by music. She grew up in a musical family. Mancunian through and through, Alison's father was the chairman of the Halle Orchestra. Alison attended the Royal Manchester College on Ducie Street, studying violin in the era of John Ogden, Sir Peter Maxwell Davies, and Sir Harrison Birtwistle. After what was considered a scandalous move at the time, she switched to study singing. But her love of strings never went very far away. She married Richard, a cellist, and states that cellists are lovely people. In the 1990s, she got to support this passion as she was instrumental in making the International Cello Festival, run every 2 years at the RNCM by Ralph Kirschbaum, into something which immediately had an international reputation and ran successfully for over a decade. Indeed, many years later, the mutual respect between Alison and Ralph is clear, she calling him an inspiration to work for and the best cellist she's ever seen, he calling her a mother superior with a huge heart, and someone who to this day, artists, colleagues and friends still speak about as very special. Ralph gave Alison an award when she left the Cello Festival, so pivotal had her role been, with the words, "No artist who has visited the festival in the past 12 years has been other than moved and impressed by the warmth, patience, care and concern lavished upon them by our honoree. No artistic director has been more blessed to work with such a warm, witty, committed and capable administrator." What Alison and Ralph created with the International Cello Festival was very special, but it was not Alison's first festival. Alison spent much of her career in arts administration, working for the Lytton Phil, the Manchester Midday Concerts, Cheetham School of Music, and the Lake District Summer Music Festival, before coming to the RNCM to work on the Cello Festival, the Glories of Keyboard Festival, and the Chamber Music Festival. Things were a little bit different then. Alison recalls her interview for the job with the Lake District Summer Music, which consisted of Sir John Mandwell calling her up to invite her in for a cup of coffee. Alison was quite surprised the next day to be told she had the job she didn't even know she'd been applying for. But then, those were the days when festival admin was done in a small shed in a yard, and the box office was a literal box at the end of the bedroom. In recent years, Alison has maintained her close connection to the college through the Howarth Trust, which she founded with her brother Jeremy. Jeremy was an artist and set up the trust originally to support young artists with grants to fund studio space in London. Alison persuaded Jeremy to support all of the organisations where she had worked, and Jeremy became more and more impressed, naturally, with the Manchester music scene and with the North. The Howarth Trust has supported the International Chair in Cello and cello students at the Royal Northern College of Music for many years, and Alison states that one of her proudest moments as a funder was watching two cellists, both supported by the Trust, playing solos at the end of the Bridgewater Hall concert just a couple of years ago. Alison is a model of kindness and consideration. This focus on attention to detail and nothing being too much trouble is what made her a brilliant administrator. Ralph Kirschbaum recounted a time when Alison once spent 10 minutes on the phone to him in New York, discussing the very best layout for the tables in the artist lounge to make sure that the artists would be most comfortable. She understands that the details matter and that doing things with passion matters. Her daughter tells me that her grandchildren call her Wonder Woman. Alison is a model for us all, selfless, dedicated, and with tremendous heart. She used to offer the students manning the reception desk at festivals one simple piece of advice. If you see somebody headed towards you with a frown, smile, smile, smile. And I think in these times that offers a valuable lesson for us all. Mr. President, I am delighted to present Alison Godley for admission to membership of the Royal Northern College of Music honoris causa.
President, I'm delighted to present Ms. Xu for honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music.
主席先生，我很高兴地向大家介绍徐女士为学院成为我们学院的荣誉成员院士。
A list of the many hats she wears will give a sense of the importance of her position in China's musical and cultural scene. Ms. Xu is the Regional General Manager of the Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei province areas of the Poly Theatre Network, one of the biggest and most prestigious theatre networks in China, whose venues regularly host leading international artists and ensembles from around the world. She is chair of Beijing Capital Theatre Alliance and executive director of China Association of the Performing Arts and Beijing Association of the Performing Arts.
她身兼数职，从中可以看出她在中国音乐和文化舞台上的重要地位。徐女士是保利剧院院线北京、天津、河北地区的区域总经理。保利剧院院线是中国最大、最负盛名的剧院院线之一，经常接待来自世界各地的顶尖国际艺术家和剧团。徐女士现任北京首都剧场联盟主席、中国表演艺术协会、北京表演艺术学会常务理事。
She has been general manager of the famous Beijing Forbidden City Concert Hall since 2002, establishing it as a venue known for its excellence and innovation. As resident hall for both the China Philharmonic Orchestra and Beijing Symphony Orchestra, as well as the Beijing Music Festival, The venue presents around 300 performances each year, covering a wide range of music, including Western, classical, jazz, world music, contemporary dance, and traditional Chinese music and operas, in addition to a highly respected education program.
自2000年起，他一直担任著名的北京紫禁城音乐厅的总经理，将其打造为一个以卓越和创新著称的音乐厅，是中国爱乐乐团和北京交响乐团以及北京音乐节的主要演出场所。每年大约有300场演出，覆盖范围广泛，包括西方古典音乐、爵士乐和世界音乐、现代舞蹈、中国传统音乐和歌剧，还有深受欢迎的教育计划。
Ms. Xu has also been in charge of the management of the Wuhan Xintai Concert Hall since its opening in 2009 and Tianjin Grand Theatre since 2018. And under her impressive leadership, both venues have developed into dynamic landmarks in China's cultural scene.
自2009年开业以来，徐女士一直负责武汉琴台音乐厅的管理工作。自2018年以来，负责天津大剧院的管理工作。在她令人印象深刻的领导下，这2个剧院都发展成为中国文化舞台上充满活力的地标。
She's played a major role in planning and organizing big cultural events, including Beijing's 8-minute show at the closing ceremony of Pyeongchang 2018 Winter Olympics and the cultural event Night of Beijing in countries all around the world.
她在策划和组织大型文化活动方面发挥了重要的作用，包括2018年平昌冬季奥运会闭幕式上的8分钟表演，以及世界各地的文化活动北京之夜。
A few years ago, we were delighted to welcome Ms. Zhu's daughter, Suan Shimang, as a student harpist here at the college, one of over 100 Chinese students presently coming to study here. The RNCM's own relationship with China has grown and developed significantly over the last few years. In addition to welcoming Chinese students over here to study, we've sent numerous student and alumni ensembles out to perform across China, including recently a percussion ensemble and the college's big band and an upcoming trip in early 2020 for an RNCM string ensemble.
几年前，我们很高兴地欢迎了徐女士的女儿孙诗萌来我们学院当学生学竖琴。她是目前来这里学习的100多名中国学生之一。RNCM 与中国的关系在过去几年里得到了长足的发展。除了欢迎中国学生来这里学习，我们还派出了许多学生和校友乐团在中国各地演出，包括最近的一个打击乐团和学院的大乐队，以及即将在2020年初为 RNCM 弦乐乐团进行的一次访问。
These activities would not have been possible without the generous support of Ms. Xu, helping to provide access to prestigious poly venues for performances and the hosting of in-country auditions. This special relationship has opened up doors to further developments we'll be making over the coming years, and the college is immensely grateful for the support and the friendship of Ms. Xu.
如果没有徐女士的慷慨支持，这些活动是不可能进行的。她帮助提供了进入保利著名剧院进行演出的机会，为 RNCM 在中国的招生工作提供了巨大的帮助。这种特殊的关系为我们未来几年的进一步发展打开了大门。学院非常感谢徐女士的支持和友谊。
President, I have the honour to present Ms. Xu for honorary membership of the Royal Northern College of Music honoris causa.
主席先生，我很荣幸的。
Good afternoon. On behalf of this year's new Fellows and Honorary Members, I would like to thank the Royal Northern College of Music for honouring us with these awards. The College has long held a strong position as a nurturing powerhouse for some of Britain's most respected and influential musicians, as evidenced by its list of previous year's honorands, and it is humbling for us to be held in such esteem. Not only this, but I know that this college had a transformative effect on me as a student, and the skills developed here were the foundation blocks in various careers before returning to the classical music industry. We are delighted that the awards you have conferred upon us today will mark a continued closer relationship with the college, and we look forward to opportunities to express this and to contribute to its future successes.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I'm delighted to present for the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours in Popular Music, Gabe Alexander. Josie Amon. Mari Bell. Alfie Bonas Ward. Dara Burke. Nathan Carroll. Tom Chapman. Peter Cook. Andy Dodds. Ash Garrod. Jack Hode. Gretel Killing. Sam Cock. Vic Kovacs. Caitlin Lang. Jack Lawton. Pete Lever. Ellen Lewis. Dan McFarlane. Jack March. Christine Michiledi. George Nicola. Ben Parkinson. Harry Preen. Lucy Rumiliotti. Charlie Sinclair. Lois Smith. Imogen Story. Phoebe Taylor. Joe Thomas. Charlie Trina. And Ollie West.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I'm delighted to present for the degree of Bachelor of Music with Honours, Dominique Adams. Cleo Annandale. Rémi Arnaud. Rhiannon Ashley. Joseph Ashmore. Elliot Bailey. Isabella Baker. Thomas Bouch. Alice Barry. Natalie Beckman. Henry Birch. Emily Blaney. Christian Bushnell. Lara Caster. Grace Callahan. Eliza Carew. Matthew Kaywood. Matthew Chatbond. Freya Chambers. Shenin Chan. Michael Choi. Hannah Clark. Heather Cousins. Matthew Curtis. Abigail Davies. Ryan Davies. William Davison. Joseph Dawson. Lorna Day. Isabella Dembinska-Kenner. Matthew Eden. Carl Egeland. Georgia Ellis. Laura Embry. Otis Enokido Lynham. Simeon Evans. Marcus Forster. Shona Glenn. Lucy Rose Graham. Sean Greenheld. George Hardwick. Anna Harrison. Peter Hartley. Ray Harvey. Lu He. Rachel Hoffman. Jake Horler Newsham. Chu Yun Hu. Eleanor Hull. John Hutchinson. William Jones. Oliver Lambert. Andrew Lee. Joseph Lanahan. Xuting Luong. Elizabeth Lister. Li Leo. Cameron Lockett. Helena Loga. Nastasia Lokaidu. Tom Laughlin. Imi Luke. Alice Luddington. Ching Ho Man. Ross Marshall. Nikki Martin. William McGann. Ethan McKnight. Andrew Mellor. Helen Milroy. Bethany Moran. Rayan Matada. Maria Mitzek. Yukyung Na. Andre Nadai. Rachel Newbold. Paula O'Malley. Raphael Oniet. Robert Owens. Ana Pacheco Aguiar. Mackenzie Paget. Luke Pallister. Jack Percy. Nadia Plummer. Radu Prasada. Nina Price. Joseph Purbrook. Emily Revel. Daniel Rapota. Erin Rossington. Philippos Roshiaman. Joshua Savage. Callum Sheriff. Jodie Smith. Lamont Sutherland. Rhiannon Simmons. Clarence Tang. Sophie Taylor. Andrew Terrafranca. Elizabeth Thompson. Louisa Till. Dennis Chock. Olivia Tringham. Lily Vernon Purvis. Alexander Walker. Richard Wang. Vanessa White. Serena Whitmarsh. Lily Wilson Keynes. Lydia Bonham. Adam Wright. Susanna Itri-Solzard. Mung Yuen Chen. And for the degree of Bachelor of Music, Harry Reid.
President, on behalf of the Royal Northern College of Music, I present for the Graduate Diploma of the Royal Northern College of Music, Malcolm Goodare. Holly Redshaw. Alice Roberts. President, that concludes the presentation of undergraduate awards. The names of those graduating in absentia are listed in the programme.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alice Flannery, and I'm very fortunate to be the Students' Union President this year. On writing this speech, I felt slightly clueless as to where to start. What on earth could I say to a hall full of successful graduates who were all so unique to themselves, going off into different corners of the world, some as performers, some composers, some researchers, and some working in footage down the road? You name it, an RNCM graduate's probably doing it somewhere. That's when I realised that actually, in my mind, the versatility and freedom to each be such unique individuals is exactly what sets the RNCM apart from anywhere else. As I'm sure you can imagine, this year so far has been full of unbelievably thrilling meetings for me. However, one meeting we had at the beginning of the year has definitely stuck most in my mind. We were discussing the question, what are the attributes of an RNCM graduate? And as we went around the table, in a room full of our student reps, partly bribed to be there with cakes, I started to feel immense pride. Attributes such as open-minded, passionate, and innovative were among many, many more. These weren't adjectives describing perfection in performance or compliance of rules, although there were lots relating to the incredibly high skill set of our graduates. Most of the attributes were relative to the character of RNCM students, of our acceptance and support of those around us, and of our enthusiasm and inspiration to learn and develop further, both as people and as musicians. I think we can all agree that the thought of graduating definitely brings mixed emotions. excitement, nostalgia, and possibly an element of fear. Finally stepping into the black hole, which is real adulting. And yet, you're sitting here today with a hard-earned cap on your head and a certificate in the post. It's a funny thought, looking back to the day you auditioned here, or even further back, to when you first considered even applying to a conservatoire. I'd love for you to take a moment to look right back, to the time of your life when you fell in love with music, whether that was the first time you touched your instrument, or, like me, it came upon you gradually, another 5 or so years later. I'm going to ask you a few questions, the first of which I'd imagine most of you will be able to answer without hesitation. Who first influenced you to get involved with the arts? How did this involvement with the arts influence who you are today? Would you be the same person had you not had the opportunity for that spark to be lit by this specific person or organisation? Because we know that music education is so much more than just learning to play an instrument. It carves who we are as people, how we learn, how we think, how we communicate, and our relationships with both ourselves and with others. It is our responsibility, therefore, to inspire other people, because literally every element of us has been heavily influenced by music. And so if there's one attribute of an RNCM graduate that I think is most valuable, it's that ability to inspire others. It's our responsibility to influence somebody else to go on this journey, no matter what path of life you take on leaving here. At a time where the need for funding is critical and arts education provision is depleted, we can be the defiant voice which stands and fights to keep our way of life alive. To help the younger generation have the same experiences that we did at their age, despite the mindless cuts which are being made every day up and down the country. We have that power to keep our light from burning out, and it's now more important than ever. And so that brings me on to the most essential part of my speech today, and that's saying thank you, firstly, to our parents and families. Not only did you put up with us during the first 18 or so years of our lives, you continued that support as we dipped our toes into the messy but amazing pool that is adulthood for the first time. Whether it was allowing us to come home and raid the fridge on the odd weekend, being reliable and sometimes the only face at our gigs, or just being an open ear at the end of the phone, offering us support and advice after an overwhelming week of opera rehearsals. For your constant kindness, comfort and love, thank you. Since beginning my time as Students' Union President, this year has opened my eyes to a lot of things at the RNCM that I hadn't realised as a student here. Not least of which is the tireless amount of work and commitment that goes into trying to ensure the best possible experience for each and every student. It really is incredible to witness, from one side, staff members' passion and dedication to our well-being, and of course, to developing us into the professionals that we have become today. On behalf of the students, I would like to extend huge gratitude to Linda and to the rest of the unbelievable staff here. Thank you. We all know that the sense of community here, such as the buzz of the refectory, is what makes the RNCM incredibly special. You probably also realise that so much of the best music is made together. Therefore, I want to thank our friends. From the first awkward conversations about what A-levels you took, to navigating the college building, to supporting each other through some of the hardest and loveliest moments of our lives so far. Here's to each other and to having made friends for life. And my final thanks goes to you, yourselves. For every time that things didn't go right, that it all got too much, or you just couldn't face another hour with that damn instrument, You picked yourself up and you carried on. You're an extraordinary group of people, and I know I don't only speak for myself when I say that you are sorely missed here. Regardless of which career path you have taken, you all bring with you immense strength, determination, and creativity that completing a degree at the RNCM helped to give you. I can't finish this speech by bestowing some profound wisdom, partly because I don't think any of you need it, but also because I have none. I can only suggest that you keep on doing what you do best, which is being yourselves and supporting those around you. As the posters and the stairs here advise, I hope you continue to do what you love, no matter what that is. Thank you.
Principal, I present the students of the Royal Northern College of Music who have been selected to receive a gold medal. Darren Gallagher. Kanako Mitsuna. And Luke Jones.
It says there on my programme for this event, President's Address. And so, what is there left for a President to say? I would like to begin by, well, our Chairman began this afternoon by using the word celebration. But primarily, we're here, this is a great celebration. First of all, a celebration for all of your awards and your achievements this afternoon, and it's my absolute pleasure to meet each one of you, to exchange 2 or 3 words. But that is, for me, a great honour and a pleasure of being the president of this place. We celebrate also our honorands. We commend their great work, and it is an honour for us to honour them today. We celebrate, as a lot of words have been spoken about this place, about this college, from Alice just now. And this is a great college. Every time I come here, I feel the vibrancy and I feel the life of this place. And I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of that life, for being a part of that vibrancy over the last several years. Now, the greatest celebration of all is music itself. A lot of us are dedicated servants of music. Music can be a hard taskmaster, but music rewards us immensely. It's a mysterious force. It's a fascinating medium. It's a phenomenon which we celebrate. I remember my years in this place as well. Actually, I was in the previous college to this. In the 60s, down at the Royal Manchester College of Music, one of the precursors to this great college here. It was sad news recently when I heard that my first singing teacher there, Patrick McGuigan, had passed away 3 months ago. I learned so much from him, I owe him such a lot. But in those 4 years there, in the late 60s, I learned, you know, as well as musicianship, stagecraft, languages, most of all, how to use my voice as an effective instrument. That was crucial. And since then, I've sung on many stages all over the place, from the Vienna State Opera to the Sunderland Empire. And I do remember the dressing room at the Sunderland Empire 25 years ago. A pane of glass had fallen out the window. There was a gale blowing through the whole thing. Still sends a chill down my spine. And there's another story about the Vienna State Opera, where I landed in a plane on the tarmac at Vienna Airport at 3:10 in the afternoon one day to sing in Parsifal. I'm on stage for 3 hours. At 4 o'clock, curtain up. There was a police car on the tarmac to take me to the stage door. I was quite calm when I arrived at the airport, but by the time we'd flown through 60 red lights, I was absolute well. But it went pretty well. Just a word about my own musical journey. My music came from an area 20 miles north of here, a little town called Oswald Twistle, where I was born and brought up. It was a Lancashire textile town. Now, I don't like using the hackneyed phrase, it were grim up north. But there's truth to it. Just on a personal note, my mother... Now, I can't say really there's truth to it from my generation. But just think about this. My mother was born in 1905. At the age of 12, in 1917, which is only just over 100 years ago, she left school, went straight to the mill, worked in the mill for 14 years, between the ages of 12 and 26. So, thankfully, things have improved a bit. But I just quote that because in the couple of hundred years after the Industrial Revolution, things were pretty tough in these industrial areas. But, you know, that workforce, to balance their spiritual lives, threw themselves into music. They formed male voice choirs, they formed brass bands, they sang 4-part harmony in the chapels on a Sunday. They sang round the piano and they played round the instruments around the piano. And I'm just, that's where my music has come from. I was brought up with these traditions. Alice was talking about what is it that sparks off the fascination with art, she was saying. Well, in my case, the thing that sparked it off was being surrounded by it from an early age in those post-industrial communities, can I say. Now, my journey in music has been a long one. We're going back quite a long way from those days. In contrast, your journeys are in the early stages. I suppose you could say that today, as I think Linda said, today you are perhaps completing the first stage, the first phase of your journey. But finally, I just want to say that we all on this platform, we wish you in the future, for wherever your musical journey takes you, wherever your talents and your skills and your intuition lead you, we just wish you great joy, great fulfillment, and a bit of good luck as well. Thank you.
this afternoon. I hope you continue your celebrations well into the evening. And I hope you continue your celebrations throughout life, and you continue to bring the gift of music to all of us. So I now declare the congregation closed, and please will you join us in standing for the national anthem.